recording. And so now I need my notes up. It's right in here. I started looking for the Word document for my notes because I'm so used to running off of Word, except for this game. Welcome, my friends, and welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for tonight, this 37th episode. This number gets larger and larger, and it's kind of weird, but cool all at once. This is Along the Frontier, an alien RPG campaign. Again, this is episode 37, entitled The Fulda Gap. And we will let that ruminate for people who to try to figure out what that means. I am the Game Mother, a title I didn't come up with, but I think it's pretty cool. With me, of course, are my amazing players, Rodance, Kane, and Luke. I actually said that out of order, but whatever. Let's take a moment to check in with them and see what's new and exciting for them over the last week or so. Meanwhile, I'll just be over here, leading my little army of not exactly facehuggers anymore up this quaint, cozy little hill out in the woods. Rodance, I know you're busy. What do you got for us?
Well,
I can come back if you need me to.
Let's see. The only really interesting thing this week, I've decided I have to get around to replacing one of the sinks in my house.
Ew.
The other sink, because I've already done one. Because the faucet, not the drain, is dripping under the sink. And I don't know how, but it is. And at this point, I just want to replace the entire sink because I don't want to deal with this anymore.
So the water line coming into the sink is dripping underneath
I think
it.
there's something damaged on the inside of the faucet itself because it drips out from the underside of where the faucet housing is. Oh, and the icing on the cake, the water shutoffs to that sink don't work. So I'm gonna have to cut the water at the street.
Ooh, so you're gonna have to shut off water to the entire house.
Yeah. I have to get one of those giant, the thing is I can't just do it. I have to go find and acquire one of those stupid giant T-bars because it's one of the security ones that isn't just a, wrench turn.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they sell them at Home Depot or some nonsense, but still.
I wonder, as a dumb question, I wonder if your local utilities crew could do something about that.
Yeah, but then they'd be off for God knows how long, and I don't want to sit with my water off for however long it takes them to come back around and turn it back on.
No, that's totally fair. I don't know if you're like in a tiny little town kind of thing, or if you're in a more metropolitan where.
Or if that would cost money.
Oh, that would be the other objection to all that.
I mean,
money.
If I'm gonna go through that of them maybe costing me money to call out to
you're better off getting the tool yourself, yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, could I call a plumber to replace the sink? Well, yeah, but the plumber is going to cost more than the sink.
Yeah, because not only do you have to pay for the sink, you have to pay the plumber. Whereas if you just get the sink and do it the work yourself, if you know what you're doing. I don't. So unfortunately, I have to call a plumber.
Yeah, actually, so the worst part of the entire thing is, other than turning the water off at the street, is I have to peel the silicone off the edging.
Yeah,
it's a pedestal sink. It's not even attached to the wall except for the silicone, so it's not the end of the world.
I was gonna say you might have a main shutoff where the utilities' responsibilities stop and yours starts. So like a clearly defined.
I know there is actually a box in my front yard with the water shutoff. So it does exist.
Right.
The house itself is from the 50s, so all kinds of stuff is just all kinds of fucked up in here. When I moved into the house, half of the inside of the house was still serviced by glass fuses. That just tells you the level of nonsense that is this house. My outbuildings are still serviced by glass fuses.
It's like a 1950s house. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I don't have ground wire anywhere in the house except for the handful of new plugs in the kitchen to support appliances. Every single outlet in the house is a GFI breaker, the same way you would have in a normal bathroom. Because it's cheaper to do that than it is to rewire the house with ground wire.
Yeah.
Apparently, whoever lived in the house before me did that. I thought it was funny.
Luke?
But not the fun kind of funny.
Yeah, no, the funny, like, oh my god, this is the bullshit I have to deal with funny. Yeah, I got you. Luke, what's new and exciting for you, my friend?
Well, so just this weekend, we had a member from the HEMA group go to France, which was really cool. to see his family, I thought, but actually was also to compete in a tournament.
Oh.
And it was a EU open, I guess, and he brought home the silver medal in Sai Sword and the bronze medal in Saber.
Nice.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely legitimizing our group.
That's awesome. Good, some good shit to hear there. My son has expressed interest in HEMA, and
Oh yes,
we had that very awkward half second or so of, Dad, do you know what HEMA is? I'm like, yes, I do. In fact, I know more about HEMA or I know about things beyond HEMA. Groups that literally get armored up in full-on armor and go out and beat the crap out of each other with actual weapons.
yeah, just blunted just for that
Yeah.
little level of safety.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Probably
awesome
won't
when
shatter your arm.
it was awesome when he said something about it. Then I started doing a very brief precursory look into it, and it's like, except the part where he's 11 and got to find someone that's interested in working with kids, and then even if you do get all that, then it's like, this is an expensive ass thing to get into.
Well, funny enough, in Canada land, we have hockey that is really common amongst youngsters, and
This
it's
may
it's
be a
probably about
surprise.
I know, but it's really popular. Like all the kids go into hockey,
Yeah.
and it's roughly like the same over like a 2-year span of like getting a kid into hockey as it is to get an adult into like which is
Yeah.
still bad if you want to have a cocky kid, but whatever.
Yeah. But I'm definitely looking into it because I have, obviously some interest in that. Like, I'm not going to participate. I don't have it in me to do that anymore. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that are older than me and less nimble than me that participate. And that's fine. That's cool. It's good. I just don't know if that's something I can get into, but it's definitely an interest that it'd be awesome to see my kid living in it. So, but
Yeah, I know.
there's
I
definitely
know a
some barriers.
70-year-old. I know a 70-year-old that just does not remind me of someone that's more than 40. So he's really spry. Like,
Yeah.
but I guess he's been doing that forever. So
Yeah. Definitely. Kane, how are you feeling? What's new and exciting? What you got for us?
I have to pick a language to learn for my degree.
It sounds like you're super excited about it.
like programming or
No.
No, this
Oh,
is an honest
no.
God human language, not a computer language.
Yeah.
worse.
Let me guess,
And
English is already out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was born in a native English speaking country, so I can't take English for that rec. But I've tried learning languages in the past for various reasons. I don't have an aptitude for language.
Do you think it's a developmental thing? Or is it just not catching on? Like some people are just
I
not good at a
mean,
certain level of math?
I'm not neurodivergent at all. I just have no aptitude for language.
Gotcha. And there are people that have a similar idea with math or, learning things in general, so it's totally understandable.
I've tried a few different languages in a few different circumstances. I spent 2 years trying to learn French in high school.
Well, that's where you fucked up. You tried French.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I had to take 2 years of a language in high school in order to
Yeah.
graduate high school, and
Really? You had to take a language in order to graduate?
I only passed that class because the French teacher really liked me, and she definitely I like my grades were like D's and F's, and then for my final I got an A.
Ooh, nope. We're not gonna say anything there.
Um,
That totally checks out.
I mean, she knew I wasn't going to try to take anything after that. So,
Right.
um, I tried to learn Russian. No, thank you.
Russian, I've heard, is also a difficult language to learn if you're not a native speaker.
And I had to learn Dari.
Ooh. I don't know anything about like how that language works or how difficult it is, but I get the feeling that some of the more tribal dialect sides of things can get really challenging.
It was difficult. It's also like I made more progress in learning Dari in 3 months than I did with French in 2 years, but
I bet you there was a strong immersion quality in there.
yeah, a local teacher, culture classes.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Because Dari is that's isn't that one of the Afghanistan regional languages? Or am I
like Northeast Afghanistan speaks Dari.
Okay.
And Southwest speaks Pashto.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
So
I've never been.
So they taught me Dari and then sent me to the Southwest.
This is perfect military common sense right there. Yeah, absolutely.
And they were like, "Don't worry. I mean, it seems a little weird. We promise that the people down there do know Dari. They just won't speak it.
Yeah,
they'll understand you. They'll just
don't look, and they won't look at you like you're stupid either."
It's like, all right.
Oh my god.
But it's I have to pick from my list. It's going to be awful.
So what languages do you have to choose from?
I've got quite a list.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 different Hebrews I could pick.
I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense that there aren't. I just wouldn't know any better, but I didn't know that there were 2 different types of Hebrew.
Well, I mean, the 2 different courses that they're teaching for it are modern conversational Hebrew, or you can study biblical Hebrew.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Wow.
I can take Latin, I can take Greek, I can take Portuguese, like I can take all kinds of stuff, but I have no practical application for any of them. Nobody in my life is multilingual. Yeah. I don't have I'm never going to use it. I've got no one to talk to. That's going to make it even harder.
And I don't recall specifically where in the U.S. you are, but I almost feel like getting like a Spanish language is probably useful just about anywhere in the U.S. because of the Latin presence. I don't even know if that's really the right term, but I know you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's also isn't Spanish the second most spoken language on earth right now, or something?
If it's not Spanish, it's Arabic.
It's like Mandarin followed by
it's
Spanish.
Like I feel like there's 5 major languages that are in heavy use in the UN. It's like English, Spanish. I keep wanting to say Muslim, but I know that's not the right word. Arabic, Chinese, and something else.
I like how everyone just skips right over French.
Well, I have strong opinions about the French language, and let me tell you something. If in order to say a number, I have to write a mathematical formula, you can go fuck yourself. Number 90. Yeah, I got him! Because if I'm not mistaken, it goes something like this. 2 times 40 plus 20. Or no, 4 times 20 plus 10.
4 times 20 plus 10, yeah.
That's how you say 90 in French.
Yeah, and it's...
I'm not joking, dumb. Friends. Look this up. If you don't believe me, look it up. I'm not lying.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't do French grammar. Like the verb conjugations and all that. It was too much.
The verbs are fine. It's when it's the two words placed in a very specific order to denote negativity. Je suis, is that right? I am.
Je suis, oui.
And then what? Help me out. Je ne suis pas.
Je ne suis pas.
Yeah. See, you know what I'm trying to say though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I am and I am not, but it's French. So here, take an extra word. Oh, by the way, every one of those words has extra letters. You write them. You never say them.
And all of them are double negatives. By the way, the whole je ne suis pas is like. You just keep affirming the opposite until you make it to the end of it, where it's like, okay, so you mean you're not. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's French is fucking weird in that way.
Yeah.
German has a lot of the same. German does have similar rules. The difference in German is you still have one word for making it a negative statement, nicht. Yeah, nicht. And you stick it at the end of the sentence. That's it. You don't do anything else. With French, you do the same thing, except you add no somewhere in there as well. And it's annoying as hell. And French has a bunch of extra letters in every one of their damn words, and if it doesn't have an E somewhere, that means that fucking sound isn't being used. It's stupid.
Well, just like a So a lot of these things are tongue twisters in French. That
Shocker.
a non like French speaking person would be like, "What did you say?" And I'm gonna try to say that and then fail it horribly. Like
Oh yeah. What is Kisaka? What is this? Or what is this here? Yeah. You go fuck yourself, okay? I fucking hate French.
No,
I'm sorry, Luke. I'm sorry, man.
it's
French
so-
will get me
it's so-
riled up, man.
Hey,
so-
at
but-
least French has rules, unlike English, which just beats up languages in the back alley.
I wanted to say no, English does have rules, and then I remember, no, you're right. It has the only rule that matters. It matters
the
now.
rule of cool.
No, that's the rule in English.
Yeah.
That's the rule. It only matters when it matters. It doesn't matter when it doesn't matter. I think I just summarized all of the English laws right there. It matters when it matters. It doesn't when it doesn't.
I just want to summarize that you had said that English is useful for Americans, and then you would take Spanish as a useful sub language just to like make sure you can speak with anyone else who goes in there.
I mean, I feel
Canada,
like. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
In Canada, for the most part, French is the main language, and then we learn English so we can speak with Americans.
That checks out. That totally checks out.
In a lot of parts of it, anyways. Not every part, but yeah.
All right. As much fun as I'm having with languages, Kane, good luck on your Language Express trip to
I'm
hell.
not going to have fun with languages. And I'm mentally preparing myself to be miserable for 2 years of a language.
I did like 3 months of French, and I enjoyed the class. Like, the teacher was cool. There were some cool, like, I had a couple of friends in the class with me. So it wasn't difficult as far as the class goes. But let me tell you, when it came to actually, like, figuring out French, I was like, fuck. And I took Spanish and German in high school. They combined 7 years. So I want to be clear. I did not take 7 years of high school.
I would have believed that.
If I had said I took 7 years of high school.
Yeah.
I only took 2 years of high school.
I took 8.
Okay, this conversation got really weird really fast. Listen, I had extra electives, so I was like, well, I'll just take German too. And I took 4 years of Spanish and 3 years of German, and I remember far more Spanish than I do German. But also because, like, in the military, which is what I did shortly after high school, in the military, there was a lot more Spanish-speaking people than there were German-speaking people. Probably for a good reason. Because, World War II, we kicked the shit out of the Germans. But I digress.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you were speaking with a lot of like German people, it'd be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. But whatever.
I got you, man. I got you. Let's after last week's experience points spending, did anybody need any talent rolls or anything else dropped on their character sheets before we continue for tonight? I think we did stuff that we needed to do. I know I did the new guy. Did you see his token, by the way, Kane?
I did.
I kind of dig it, except it seems like might be a lot going on in that little image. But
I mean, it'll be distinct from the others.
It absolutely will. And then I realized, like, 2 hours after I did that, I was like, I could have just done the Caduceus or whatever the hell it's called.
So, can I drag and drop from one sheet to the other? Cool.
Can you?
I teach Wally tough.
Okay. Ironic.
After beating the shit out of him a couple of extra times.
Yeah. I love that you have right as your buddy and it says my fellow nub. And then I realized once I read that first, that before I said anything, that you meant noob. No, actually nub works. Nub works?
No,
okay.
nub. No, I specifically meant nub.
Got it.
Because it's a diminutive of noob.
Yeah. Kane, if you want my advice, I don't have any experience with Italian other than with it being a Latin language and thus related to Spanish in some way. It wouldn't be difficult for me. It might be easier than German. I don't know.
Honestly, if you don't know what you want to do, go find out which non-English version of TV you want to watch and just pick that one. Personally, if I had to pick one, I'd learn Japanese because I like watching anime, but that's a separate problem.
Japanese can be a challenging language.
Well, but still, it has a somewhat practical use.
It does.
Versus, what the hell am I going to do with German?
German has some practicality if you're ever in Europe. And even then, if you're in Europe, they all speak English anyway.
There's other languages.
Yeah.
I could make fun of the wearaboos in German.
The wearaboos? I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't at the moment.
The German army, World War II German army fanboys on the internet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Little misguided people.
All right, it sounds like we have all of our talents and stuff updated, so let's go ahead and move on. Previously, along the frontier, the gunslingers were brought aboard an unmarked ship before being awoken from their hypersleep. Upon being roused, they are put into a debriefing with none other than Badgeman himself. And soon they learn... or insert random ass name here, because he's gone by 17 different names to count so far. Actually, that's probably not even entirely accurate, but not by much. And soon they learn the shocking truth. Deep Void is real and involves apparently many various entities of both the United Colonies and the UPP, as well as several corporations and other interests. Following the debriefing, the heroes are sequestered in Marine country, and after some time to themselves, they are brought together for a mission of critical import and a chance to prove their loyalty to the colonies and the core. Before we get into anything else, I am under the impression that there are a couple of one-on-one conversations that should probably happen next.
I want to see if anybody wants to do anything else first.
Sure.
Before I start spending a crap ton of time talking.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, other than I'm probably currently kicking the snot out of Wally on the side as combative training, but you know, lightly, because
training.
Yes. He's doing a whole bunch of running around and moving boxes, but his punishment with spit shining included.
Yeah, sure. Luke, you got anything that you want to get into with your people before Pike takes over and has some counseling sessions?
I am remembering what we were doing last, and
the last scene we did.
Yeah.
The last thing we did was a mission briefing from Badgeman explaining that there was a UPP destroyer that he wanted you guys to take down because there were Blackguard going after it.
Oh, yeah. A UPP, okay.
And, let me rephrase just so we're all on the same page at this point. So he's giving you the briefing. You've got approximately 2 to 3 hours before you need to get underway in order to meet the window that will allow you to hit the ship, at least according to their intelligence and whatnot, within about an hour or so after they hit. So you're not going to be, in theory, the plan is that you're not actually going to have to deal with all of the potential UPP fuckers. They will, but you will be coming in behind them by about an hour.
Oh, I see.
To deal with
that's
them.
So much better. That's so much better.
Yes, because if you didn't know, the Kremlin can carry an awful lot of fucking people on it.
Okay.
And your characters would know roughly that those numbers amount to something like 200 colonists and or soldiers.
Yeah, we'll just have to deal with the surviving other Pikes that are going to want to kill us.
Yeah, just those guys.
The other Pikes.
I'm gonna roll an empathy. Give me 1 second.
Is this right?
This is Warren.
Okay. Okay. Warren failed empathy. What's that mean for the rest of us?
That means that something leaves his inventory.
Oh, what are you doing over there? What kind of GMing? What kind of mini GMing are you doing to yourself?
I'm just making character building.
Character building. It sounded like character destruction to me, but whatever.
No, something normal leaves his inventory, but I think other than that, he's doing fine. The Galactic Cross is no longer in his inventory.
Shock.
Does he just put it up in his locker?
I'm trying to decide that, but we'll come up
roll another empathy to see if he throws it away. Or does he hold on to it in a moment of second guessing?
I think it's more interesting that he has a struggle and figures that out naturally.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just stuffs it in his locker on the little drop ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tiny dropship. Tiny dropship. He just doesn't want to see that anymore. He just puts it in there for now.
Okay.
And yeah, cool.
All right. Anything else, or shall I let Pike lead off on his 2 separate one-on-one conversations he needs to have?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Bordance, any objections?
Well, he's probably gonna go talk to the other one first because Wescott is currently beating on Wally. You know, with padded sticks.
I mean, to me, this sounds like a NCO question that I, as an officer of sorts, don't have to get involved in. Pike, the floor is yours. Wright is available. Wally is currently in the middle of something with your junior NCO, of which you could always override, but you know.
I guess I'll walk over just to see if it's a cookie cutter. I'll check and see if there is the same tiny office in this troop bay as on the Tam.
It's reminiscently the same. The big difference here, of course, is that there is a distinct lack of dust, even in this tiny little something between a closet and an office.
There's a weird lack of folders all jammed up in every corner of the tiny space.
That also, like, yeah, the disheveled papers, the folders with the creases in the corner that are not there anymore, or
all the
were never
shit
there,
scratched into the edges
Yeah.
of the table.
Yeah, I don't know how many times you've bashed your knee on your tiny little desk.
I'll just walk through the troop bay and look around and look for Wright, and if I see Wright, I'll just point office.
Okay. I suppose you would see her, so she would probably double time it because you scare her.
Luke, I do want to point out really quick,
I'm on mute.
just a reference back to the message you sent me last week after our last session.
Okay, yeah.
Just a subtle reminder, that's all. Please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah, not sure if I should be concerned or not.
No, you're fine.
You should always be concerned. Look at who's talking.
I've already called myself an officer, and you're not yet concerned by that? Come on.
I mean, you're whatever you want to be. You're everyone else in this game.
Yeah, right. That's right. Let that ego out.
Pike like does his shuffle around to get to the other side of the desk. And he'll unbutton and take his top off. And he'll gesture for Wright to do the same.
Okay. Removing from inventory.
You don't need to get naked. You just need to take your top off so that there's no rank involved.
I know, I'm just joking. What did you want to talk to me about?
So right now, this conversation is just 2 Marines. All right.
I can see that.
This probably wasn't at all what you were expecting.
No.
I mean, between the mission and then everything that came up in the brief afterwards, it's a lot.
That mission was intense. Is that something that normally happens for this group?
Intense for sure. It was definitely unique though. Normally there's less civilians.
And those were civilians.
The miners, yeah.
And Warren just torched them?
They attacked. They made themselves combatants.
Still, though, he's monstrous, I guess. Well, he's superior, so he knows better, I suppose.
Do you remember The first when we went down the lift, you two took the survivors up, you came back down, and then we ran into the guy with the bone.
Oh, yes.
How absolutely fucked up that guy was.
Never seen anything quite like that before.
Yeah. It's not a great answer. It's the best answer I've got. But your life is worth more. Those miners attacked us. I don't know how many of them were driven to aggression by that sort of potential. I don't know how far along the track they were to becoming that guy.
Hmm. A femur, though. How do you even pull that out of someone?
Well, we found the body. It was not without effort.
Yeah.
It seems like that stuff down there does that to people. So when he attacked with a flamethrower, they wanted to attack us. They had that aggression. I don't know how far it was going to go, but I'm not worried about it. And we all came back.
Hmm. We did all come back. It was definitely a difficult time for a few of us. I know I did bring a little slack to the team. I shouldn't have.
He didn't quit though. There's a lot that is asked of this team. I mean, that whole last mission, getting thrown in the deep end like that,
Yeah.
the mission asked a lot. The only thing I ask is that you don't quit.
So some of
I can
the
work
horror
with that.
stories that I heard on the way back here are true. You guys got nuked.
There's there's a lot of stories that are probably true. They sound wild, but if, you have to remember this is my life. I'm used to this shit. The others, they were in the same boat you were not too long ago.
Hmm. So what do we do now? We take over the Kremlin?
Take over the Kremlin. Stop the Black Guard from taking it. We try to do what we can to stop Deep Void. We try to
Are there
protect.
civilians on that ship?
Don't know. The objective has nothing to do with crew or civilians. It only has to do with taking the ship. If they've got a bunch of their own colonists on there and they're willing to sit quiet, I'm willing to give them all over to Badgeman.
Hmm.
But the mission's bigger than they are. You have to be prepared for that.
I see.
So my first question, do you want to still be part of this team?
Hmm. I'm trying to think of a good actual answer to this. Um,
It's given where we are right now. You have an opportunity the others didn't have. You do have a way to exit.
Stay on the ship, never find out anything, or go with you and the rest of the crew and know where this all leads.
Yeah. You also have to be involved in how it goes where we go.
I suppose. Then I'll be part of the team.
You're ready to go where we have to go.
I understand the risks.
Okay. You've been briefed on a lot of stuff, but you've got a little bit of time. So here is, and I'll like pull out and stick a folder down.
Into the desk, like right angle.
Yes, just stab right into the desk. I've taken the liberty of putting together a brief synopsis of the last few missions to get you caught up on some of the insanity. If you're going to see this through to the end, you need to know. You need to understand why this is as difficult as it's going to be.
I love this. Just out of character, I love this because this is working really good for like a certain thing.
Also, you should know a little bit about the Blackguard. The Blackguard are AW soldiers. I am an AW soldier. It's no exaggeration that I've already put in, well, I've already given more than 20 years to the Corps.
How old would Pike look? Probably still
Pike,
pretty young, eh?
Pike looks like he's maybe in his mid-20s.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so she's like, oh, you're like,
yeah, the fact that he said that he's already given up 20 years of his life and he's like 24, 25, 26 is going to be something that Wright is going to have to mentally reconcile. I also imagine perhaps in that bundle of mission report summaries is maybe a brief description of what an artificial womb soldier is, because I feel like that's something that Wright has almost no knowledge of and at best has rumors.
Yeah, I see the comments you let in.
Yeah, I'm trying not to interrupt your guys' actual RP, but I have a smart ass mouth and I have to let it out somehow.
Yeah, I mean, to keep it real simple for you. There's a little blurb in there for the stuff that you can know.
Okay.
As a baby, raised by the Corps, genetically altered, uh, biologically altered. My body chemistry is different.
Is that why you're huge?
I am, in fact, built different. So the eggheads say.
Oh.
So this is
just the eggheads.
Yeah, this is my life.
So this is all natural.
Yeah, this isn't, but I still work for it. But it's important for you to understand that as much as this seems so out of nowhere, understand that this is not strange for me. So when
it's certainly out of nowhere.
When I make these calls and it seems wild, trust in my experience in this weird shit. I'm here to take you out the other side of this. My goal is for you to survive, to understand what's going to happen and make a difference. And if I can't bring you home, I will give you a good Marine's death. You understand?
I think I understand.
When you're done reading that stuff, there's a burner before you go to sleep. If you have any question, yeah. So when you're done reading it, you stick the folder in the burner and it destroys it.
Oh, okay, like a shred all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you have any questions, Warren's already in the know on all of it. Yeah, if he can't answer it, I'm more than happy to.
Thank you so much. I guess I should probably start reading this. Was there anything else, Staff Sergeant Pike?
If you don't have any questions for me, go find Wally.
I'm a musclehead who's used to stun batoning some civilians. I don't have much questions about anything. However, what you told me is completely out of nowheres, and I guess I'm gonna have to read to figure out any of this.
I think yeah, you just like the others, just like Wescott, just like Warren, um, volunteered and did not know exactly what you were going to be given for your volunteering. I do have some sympathy for that.
Yeah, out of character. I realize how completely out of fresh bullshit that the most of the four had come out of. Was just like, yeah, we're gonna do this. It's fine. Was not fine.
Yeah, we want to join a combat unit. Ended up here.
And to be clear, they were in a combat unit. They were in a line infantry unit. He just got moved up to some shit where the combat was real shit.
Got moved into
Yeah.
the weirdo people collective.
Yeah.
And I like to think that Wright got moved into this unit because the civilian casualties were kind of high, and they were like, well, they need like a breacher, like someone who's going to be able to deal with like civilians and not murder them. And
Well,
like,
I would like to think that at least for Wright and Wally, that a similar scenario took place, that they were in line units that had seen relatively calm shit, especially compared to this craziness. And then there was like, we need more bodies for our special forces support teams. Can you volunteer anyone? And they either volunteered or were voluntold, depending on how the tasking may have been pushed down or what have you. And then they show up and they're like, oh, we're not just beating people in the head with rubber things. We're torching them, literally torching them. But also, there's a femur somewhere over there that was originally a weapon used against me. So, is it justified? I don't fucking know anymore.
I feel like it was presented way differently to like Wright. I think they were like, yeah,
sure,
this is going to be a good opportunity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I'm sure these guys are
It's going to be great for your career.
Oh yeah, these are the Marine Corps. These are the people that are already in the Marine Corps. So of course they already know. They've already seen the high school and college recruiters that they need to see the internal recruiting setup. So they're like, oh man, this would be great for your career. Look, listen, you'll make E7 in like 4 years, guaranteed.
Yeah.
That sounds 100%. Like a trap.
It absolutely is a trap.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I have heard it. They've thrown it at me as an E5. You'll make E7 in 4 years. I'm like, I got that big hurdle of E6 though. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll make E4.
Well, I think you're an E2, right? What is she? She's a PFC.
Yeah, she's
yeah, she's a PFC. So
she's private. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like in the Marine Corps. That's an E2.
Okay.
Well, in the U.S. Marine Corps, in the Colonial Marine Corps, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But
they use the Colonial Marines. Use U.S. Marine ranks.
Yeah. So yeah, she's an E2. Indicative of someone with approximately a year in the service.
Do you have any more questions?
No, sir. Grabs a weighty folder and goes, is this bookmark? Do you have like post-it notes? With the important events?
Do you have the little tabby dealies on the sides?
Yeah. I feel like there's some things sticking out of this.
Yeah,
okay.
You got to know that the tabby dealies are more of a Wescott thing.
Oh, absolutely. I was actually
not organized.
Yeah, no, this is definitely consciousness streaming using the smallest possible words available.
He's not even like in chronological order.
No, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, while Wright is leaving, he'll be like, hey, Wright, welcome to the team.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Wally, you're up.
Turns out.
Yeah, poor Wally's about to get his face, probably rearranged.
I'm just picturing Wally covered in sweat, in a dirty, rumpled uniform, showing up for his boss's interview.
So let me tell you, the normal staffing on this ship is probably looking at us like we're crazy and probably pissed because I'm making Wally do lots and lots of work. So he's probably sweating like a small pool,
I imagine,
like on their deck, and I'm sure they're pissed about it.
I'm sure there's been at least 2 or 3 people come by that not only have said things like make sure you put it back, but you've also heard disapproving sighs over the new scuff marks they have to get out.
Oh no, I make Wally do work, and then I make him clean the scuff marks, and then I, beat on him some, and then I make him do more work, and then clean more scuff marks.
That
This is
checks
a
out.
cycle.
That checks out.
Because he clearly needs to be too tired to have brains if he's going to run around in fear like that.
Yeah. I mean, in Call of Cthulhu, you make your insanity roll and pass, or then you have to make an idea roll, which is basically an intelligence roll. And if you pass that, you're fucked because your brain has made sense of things. You're actually better off being dumb. At any rate, I'm going to turn my mic off and let you guys have this next session or scene.
Mm-hmm. So,
I was planning to have a lot more fun with this scene, but everybody else is asleep, so I can't just scream at the microphone. Because people need to sleep.
So, Wright comes to find Wescott putting Wally through his paces. Probably currently in the middle of combative exercises, light. What does she do?
Right.
Luke?
Right?
I was trying to figure out.
There you go.
There it is.
We can hear you now. So
sorry,
what is?
I just erased all of my like description for one of my characters by pushing the slash sign, and now I'm just angry. What was the question?
So Wright walks up and finds my two characters currently in the middle of combative exercises light.
Oh.
Which basically means she's beating him with the equivalent of padded sticks rather than normal sticks.
That's slightly improved.
He's not going to be permanently damaged, just very tired and bruised.
Yeah. All right. Gonna walk up and grab a seat. I guess it's in the kitchen, as this always is, or the cafeteria.
Yeah, so they'll be off to the side.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you guys also have the hangar deck area too. So, like, if you want to make a run laps, he's probably out there.
Oh yeah, we're in the hangar deck most likely. You're right, because I'm having to do laps and then more combatives, and then laps and then more combatives.
Mm-hmm.
Working him to get to point of being very tired and then combat practice.
Actually, I think Wright's gonna kind of scuttle around and get to the locker area and sit down and read some files.
She was told to go get Wally.
Oh, was she? Fuck.
Yes.
Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured that you as a player forgot, because I don't think Wright would have forgotten.
No, it was
Wright's first action would have been like to go figure out where Wally is and then find a way to politely interrupt Wescott's berating and be like, Staff Sergeant needs him, and then promptly disappear.
No, that's definitely right around when I erased all of my description for Warren, and I was like, what the hell am I doing next? And I was just assuming that everyone's going, okay, Wright gonna go right over to the right people that Alita Wright needs to go to right now. And when they see is gonna say can I interrupt this
I just
rite
pause
of passage?
And I just sit at the end of the staff thing on the floor and I just look at her and go, yes, Private First Class.
Staff Sergeant Pike has requested Wally Wozniewski,
yes.
Wozniewski, okay. To go to the office and communicate with him to figure out what's going on with our mission. And then she's gonna be like all flustered and stuff.
Understood. So I have I escort Wally to the office, and I stand there in the troop bay, staring at him as he opens the door to this very tiny claustrophobic room.
Oh no.
I forgot all about that. Dude. Holy shit. I forgot all about the claustrophobia in the closet office.
Wescott did not forget.
No, that's good. That's good. Because the GM definitely forgot.
She basically is stalking behind him as he is walking towards the office. And he gets about to like, is the door open, by the way?
No.
Cool. So he basically gets to a point where he's about to put a hand on his door. And he has a moment because he knows what this office is on the other side of this door. And the man does not want to go into the tiny space. What is the horrifying checky does he need to make now?
I think it's wits. Isn't it?
Oh.
Unless you give him a command to go in there.
Yeah, so his stress level increases by 1 within short range of the object of his phobia, automatically.
Yep.
And if he stays there, he starts rolling panic.
Oh, this is going to be great. Him rolling panic rolls in the middle of being berated by both of his supervisors.
He's not even in here to be like shit on yet. He's gonna be making panic rolls.
So I just tell him, I'm standing behind him, and I'm sure Pike can hear Wescott go, "Private first class, you need to open the door." Yeah, so he kind of creaks the door open, and he has the look of I'm going to die, and he can't decide if Pike's going to kill him or if Wescott's going to kill him, but Wescott's standing behind him, and somehow that is more scary at the moment. So yeah, Wescott just kind of does a little salute to Pike and says, and gives the good luck face before walking off. She doesn't even like shove him through the door, knowing that this is about to be an ordeal. She is very tired of this.
Does he make it through the door?
Let's see. So do you feel like that's more of a wits or an empathy moment? I feel like that's probably more of an empathy moment.
I mean, you could use either one, theoretically. In my opinion. Ooh, first panic roll of the night. Only took us 52 minutes. He keeps it together.
So he goes in. He really does not want to close the door. He doesn't even close the door behind him before he steps in.
Pike's put his top back on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got another folder in front of him, and he's got like a pen in hand, and he does the really slow eyes up. It says, "Customs and courtesy, shitbird, get the fuck out of my office."
He has the oh shit look, I've forgotten important shit, and does the scurrying back out and then the knocking on the door like that he was supposed to do. Because he didn't even knock on the door when he opened it, because Wescott scared him into opening it.
Mike makes it an uncomfortable wait and then says, "Come in."
He opens the door again, very uncomfortable, and then steps in and greets the staff sergeant. I at this point, I'm just tormenting him because it's funny.
Wally. Can you tell me what the job of every fucking Marine is?
To be a rifleman, staff sergeant?
And what do riflemen do?
They shoot things, staff sergeant?
So you leave me in a state of confusion. If you're not a Marine, what the fuck are you? And why are you on my goddamn ship?
I feel like what is the name of the office? Like he says, the office that assigns me orders says that I'm supposed to be here. He was like he's been
Office of Personnel Management.
Yes, Office of Personnel Management
S1.
has told me I am supposed to be here as a Marine. And he kind of just like mumbles and then runs on in a very sort of incoherent manner because he is about to have a panic attack by being in this tiny room.
What does he have to roll again?
I mean, technically he's supposed to be rolling like every turn.
Oh God.
For the sake of the everybody's sanity, this conversation is a single turn. So unless he does something that generates another panic roll, he'll be fine.
Have the dignity to be fucking coherent. Do you have any idea what this fucking conversation is, Wally?
No, Staff Sergeant?
You see that uniform that you have been so lovingly put into by the Corps that wants to love its Marines?
Oh, this poor POC is about to get it. Yes, Staff Sergeant? And he's looking at himself and then kind of still on the currently flipping out of being in the tiny room. He actually isn't looking at the Staff Sergeant. He hasn't stopped looking around the room, kind of like half panicky. He does not want to be in this particular space. So much so that his fear is kind of like, his fear of the room is about as bad as his fear of Pike right now. And the room is more attention getting.
This conversation right now is deciding whether or not you're being sent home in your fucking skivvies in disgrace. Act like this is a conversation and not a foregone fucking conclusion, or it will be.
So he tries to like pull himself together here for a moment. Let's see if he has any luck at all.
I was just gonna say, if you want to make an empathy roll, now is a great time. Ooh.
He manages to take a deep breath and calm down a little bit. He goes, Staff Sergeant, I've been in the Marines my entire life. Since I got out of school, basically. So I think I want to serve the Marines, but I'm not sure this place is the quite fit. As he has this moment of eyeing the room, but he says, I don't want to leave, and I definitely don't want to leave in disgrace. Stop, Sergeant.
Pike leans back, takes a deep, exaggerated breath. And why shouldn't I rip that fucking uniform off you?
Does he have enough brain cells to throw together for this response that I want to have him say? Maybe.
Hey, it's the best thing about player agency. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
I love how you could choose, or you could roll and see what the dice say. Because I'm totally down with
he says,
either.
like, I think this last mission has proven that this is not the line unit in which I fit best. But I'm not willing to give up on being a Marine. If you think I need to be elsewhere, that's fine. But otherwise, I will do my best to work here.
Quitting again. You're not even worth the breath. Get the fuck out of my office.
He is actually happy to leave. He's like a happy camper right now. He did not get as scary of a talk from Pike as he thought he was about to get, and he doesn't have to be in the scary room anymore.
Because he failed that conversation. I don't know if he figured that out.
Oh, I know he failed because I realistically
you figured it out.
I knew he was failing. I knew before I walked in there that he was going to fail. That's why I gave you those responses instead of different ones.
Well, no, I mean, based on the conversation Kane
actually,
and I had, he
the
had
only
a
way
chance
you're probably getting his ass back in cryo sleep is if you send him to medbay and drug him, by the way. So that's going to be a problem too.
Not really. I mean, we just had Wescott beating the shit out of him. Get him in a submission hold and jab him with a needle.
Wescott just chokes him out, rolls him in, and hits the button.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Wescott summons the medbay medic to bring the meds first.
Give him the choice.
Pike's new character brings them to her. And then she promptly turns around, chokes him out, stabs with the meds, and then tells her other two minions over there to shove his ass in a cryo sleep tube.
Speaking of the other minions and
that's the plan, by the way.
Yeah.
Not a guarantee, but I think that would be a hilarious introduction.
So in Pike's little folder, right? He's got like on both sides, so it's camera convenient to see. He's got two different sets of forms. And on the one side of forms, he had like the dock of pay for Wally. And on the other, is a much thicker side, and it's a whole package you put together to get him discharged.
Yeah, we call that a chapter packet where I'm from.
And like looking at the headlines and stuff, like cowardice before the enemy, conduct unbecoming of a Marine, like all these things suggest like he's like it's clear that Pike has decided this guy deserves a dishonorable discharge. He's not a Marine.
It's at that moment, by the way, whether the door is open or closed, that there is another knock on your closet office door.
Come in.
It's Badge Man. He comes in. He literally takes a full step in and realizes he's about a half a step too deep because he's almost on your side of the desk at this point. He just stops. He says, "Jesus, man, I forgot that this little tiny ass room was so tiny." And then he closes the door and he takes a seat. He says,
it took some time to develop a system to get around this desk."
I mean, you're like 19 feet tall. I could understand that. It's a wonder you didn't butter your hips to get in here.
Probably would have helped.
As he sits down, he says, "So, two things, and they're very closely related. I understand you have something of a personnel issue, which I would be stupid if I even thought I could get in the middle of. I will let you handle that as you see fit, and I will support whatever I need to support."
Hey, if you got info and a recommendation, I'll hear it. But
are you talking about that guy that looked like he was a walking bag of sweat as he rolled out of here that I just passed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know the guy outside of what we did to vet you guys. Wherever he came from, whatever he did before he got here, that was there. And this is where he is. But there's more to a man than what you see in front of you. It's up to you, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your team. I will tell you, however, I have a medic on hand, and you don't. Would you like him? Not that I'm trading him like, he's meat or anything, but I really would like for him to come back to me at the end of this. Alive, mind you. And when he says that, he gives you the knife head. He's like, no, alive, motherfucker, is what he's really saying.
Well, you've read the mission reports. You know how hard I try to make that happen. I'll take them.
Do you? And when he says that, there is a wide smirk on his face.
It's like, somebody somewhere is carrying the bullet with my name on it. I don't get to control that.
Yeah. So, do you want me to bring him in, or how do you want to do that? Because you still have and he looks at his watch, an hour and 40 minutes to plan this mission before you need to get underway.
Yeah, I'll take them. The sooner I get them, the sooner I can integrate them.
All right.
And he grabs the stack and hands it to him.
What's this? He starts thumbing through it as he waits for you to give him the summary version.
You're right. There's more to every man than you can see. That man is not a Marine.
All right. Do you want me to file this, or you want me to wait? Like, what do you want? Is he going with you, or is he staying with me?
I am not taking him. That's a great way to get your medic killed.
Okay. Is this filled out complete? Do you need me to start filing it?
Yep.
Okay.
And then once that paperwork is done and he's no longer a Marine, whatever.
Once you guys leave, he's no longer your problem.
Yeah. I'm sure that whatever needs to happen with what he knows is something you're well versed in.
I don't know if you know this, but I have a number in my cell phone that puts me right to the top. Yeah. And he's got yet another one of his almost characteristic. I'm not really a GM character, but I'm a GM character. It smirks.
It's as long as I know that he's going to be out of uniform. The rest of it, I'm sure you'll take care of.
Yeah. In fact, and he opens up I kind of want to picture him wearing like a jacket or something, but he's probably not. So he grabs like a little, like a pen or something out of his pocket, and he clicks it, and he says, "Hey, send me 2 security guys down to the Marine country and have them collect this PFC." The fuck's this guy's name?
Just call him Wally. Everyone.
Wally. You're looking for Wally. You don't hear anything come back, but he sticks the pen back in his pocket. And he does the whole, shakes the folder at you and is like, I'll take care of this. And Watcher will be down shortly.
Anything I need to know or anything that I'm not supposed to ask him?
He's a Marine, but he works for me.
Is he a Marine?
Yeah.
All right.
He kind of looks like he's like, I just said he was a Marine. I don't know why you're asking me this.
Well, I mean, are we talking is a Marine or was a Marine, always a Marine? Like, what are we talking here?
Oh, you want to get that technical? Yes, he is a Marine on detached duty to the Department of Defense.
Okay.
And I'm loaning him, again, I'm going to make this clear to you. I am loaning him. I expect him back when you're done with his op.
Yeah.
Now, above board, of course, is, because he's your character, to keep him on the team, you'll have to do a little extra legwork, which will be just like, we decided that we're going to go with that. But narratively, he's on loan right now.
Okay. I mean, if I like him, maybe I'll give him a pat on the ass before I give him back.
Just don't kill him. And he's reliable. As reliable as you make him. So I'm sure Wally was reliable until he started failing his panic rolls.
If Pike just looks at him and says, I could use a little reliable right now.
All right. Well, I'll go file this. Watcher will be down shortly. And you guys still have a mission prep. Or a mission to prep. So I'll leave you to it. Any DD Mows, as they say in some parts of the military. Not anymore. I think that's really old. That was something they said when I was a young private.
He'll shuffle his way around the desk and leave his office as well. Or it's not even really his office. He'll leave the office.
All right. Let me read you my notes really quick for Watcher. So he is a Marine on detached duty, fulfilling the medic position in an action team that reports to Badge Man. He's available for now, and if you're comfortable with him being on the team after the mission, again, narratively speaking, because, we saw what happened to Wally. Could happen to Watcher as well. But if you want to actually put him on your team afterwards, that will require a conversation between you and Badge Man after the fact. But obviously, he's got SecDef in his pocket, so he could just be like, yeah, listen, you're the short of like a president or somebody, you're the top of the chain of command here, so we could definitely make this happen. We just got to push the paperwork down far enough. Other than that, the only thing we got left is planning. Now, in a moment, I will throw the maps up so you guys can have an idea of what you're getting into. But there are some notes I want to give you really quick that in the briefing / planning stages you would have been privy to. And I imagine Watcher's there. So actually what we can do, if you want to introduce Watcher to the other team, or excuse me, the other members of the team, and have a quick little scene there, that's entirely up to you guys. I think it would be good, but it's up to you.
Watcher's got no rank or anything, right?
Correct. So when he shows up, all he's got is a Marine uniform with his gear, obviously, but he's got his name tape and all the U.S. Marine insignia stuff, but no actual rank. He is a PFC as far as any pay grade is concerned, but he doesn't wear that because of his job, his current duty position.
So I like the idea that like Pike is just call everyone together in the briefing room so that he can use the screen there to look at like the expected deck plans of a Kremlin.
Yeah.
And that's when Watcher comes into the briefing room as everyone is sitting down.
Now, I'm not going to make you have a one-on-one conversation with yourself. I will be amused if you do, but I think Wescott might have to take over at least some of this conversation. Well, let's pretend for a moment maybe Pike has finished setting up or conversing with Badgeman about some of the details as far as the deck plans and stuff like
that. So Watcher shows up. He's slightly shorter than average. Looks very generic. Brown hair.
I'm pretty sure he's still
eyes.
Taller than Wescott.
Yeah, he's 5'8".
I would also like to, if I can interject just for a quick second, I'm just picturing in my head for this scene that Watcher shows up with like all of his kit, his kit, rucksack, duffel bag, and a weapon, and like sets his bags down outside the briefing room, and then he comes in wearing like all of his kit except for like his helmet and his weapon. Like he's got his weapon on him, like he's ready to go. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
He's also got like notably, he has a scar that runs like down the side of his nose and all the way down to his through his upper lip. Um, his uniform's probably pressed. Everything is clean.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got to be clean and pressed because look at the chip around him.
Yeah, and there's no armor art. There's nothing identifiable on his armor or anything.
Yeah, when it comes to anything outside of his name, there is nothing identifying him.
Yeah, so he'll probably like step in, take a quick look, see who, he's looking at ranks to try to see who he's supposed to be looking for. And I guess he's probably going to go find Wescott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it looks
Wescott.
like because Pike is talking with Oliver, so
Wescott just stands there. Like Wescott turns and looks at the new cover and just like cocks her head and goes, "A new marine to me, marine country today, it seems."
Wait, a new Marine? Warren pipes in.
Dr. Wescott, I'm Watcher, reported for duty.
She,
You better watch yourself.
greets him appropriately and whatever variety of saluteness that this poor, overly pressed uniformed gentleman is expecting.
I'm a medic. I hear you need one.
You familiar with the spooky shit? And I'm not talking about that spooky shit as I'm pointing to Badge Man.
I was given some reading. I've done it.
Good. I took a bullet for the last medic. Try not to make me take another one.
I'm hoping
Warren
that most
sits back a little bit, like, oh no, that's right.
I'm hoping that I'll get to spend more time filling holes than causing them.
Good.
But don't worry, I can make them if I need to. So somewhere would you like me to put my stuff?
I gesture Warren and Wright to come on over. Go get
Warren's
him.
sitting pretty close to you.
Yeah, go get his stuff squirreled away. Show him where we keep all the stuff on the ship real quick. I look over to Pike and Alan. I'm sure they're gonna be talking here for another few minutes.
All right. See you, Wescott. See you, Pike. See you, Jeff.
I'm trying to give Luke an excuse to talk to Newbie as well.
Yeah.
Briefly.
So you're the new medic.
For now. But yeah.
Is that implying that we'll all get hurt at some point? Seems kind of like a bad omen to me.
All Marines get hurt eventually. Whether it's because of the enemy or because you're too drunk.
I'm sorry, I need to cut in and say that is absolutely something a fucking medic would say in the military.
Well, Watcher, glad to have you on the team. Hopefully this goes well.
Yeah, I hope so too. I got shit to do afterwards.
Good. Good. We all have shit to do. Right, it's gonna be like, what is going on?
All right, are we good? Do we need to do anything else with Watcher, etc.? I want to move on, but I don't want to cut you off either. So
yeah, I mean,
so this is a locker. You open it by doing the thing here.
I can't tell you how long I've been a Marine, but I am a Marine. I know how this works.
All right, good.
Okay. All right. So Pike, some of the information you're getting. Some of this information you are getting in your one-on-one with Badge. Otherwise, this information is generally available to everybody eventually. Known intelligence. See. Let me go ahead. I'm going to start with this.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
This is the E deck. 5 decks to this ship. But this is probably where you're going to make your ingress. As far as, like, it's the easiest way to get onto the ship. There's... Well, obviously, you can do all sorts of things to get onto this ship. This is probably the easiest way to effectively get the entire team on. What does this also mean? It's an uphill climb to get to where the command decks and shit are. But knowing that the the Blackguard is ahead of you, this might not be a bad angle. That said, let's see. Known intelligence. The Blackguard assault force likely consists of no less than one, for obvious reasons. Probably consists of 3 or more 4-man teams. Each team will likely have a specific target aboard the ship and an objective for each one of them in order to quickly take it down. Multiple entry points may be used, or a single insertion into the hangar bay may have been the Blackguard's plan of entry. So, similar to you guys, it's not really clear what their ingress plan is. The condition of the Fulda Prolov, which is the name of the ship, which is Russian as far as I can understand it with Google Translate, Russian for the Fulda Gap. The condition of the Fulda Prolov is unknown. Intelligence suggests the ship sustained damages after an incident in a neighboring system, but specific details are unknown. Worst case, the ship is fully operational with a full crew. This is intel speak for we have no fucking clue, plan for the worst. And then lastly, as far as the known intel, the Kremlin-class ship comes with a crew of 18 personnel and its onboard AI and Ivan 3. Can also be transporting up to 200 UPP troops and their various and associated equipment. It is unknown what, if anything, this Kremlin is carrying. It is safest to assume that whatever is aboard the Prolov will use whatever assets it has at its disposal to defend itself. Badge will suggest multiple entry is probably not the way to go because it will divide up your available limited amount of firepower versus a potentially large and very dangerous force. Single entry point is likely the best option. Hangar arrival may be best for the closest approach to match a routine operation. However, once committing to taking down the ship, it will quickly be obvious what your intentions are. In other words, what he's trying to say there is, in order to sneak aboard, going through the hangar might be the easiest way to pretend you're just part of regular operations. Of course, by the time you get there, the Blackguard's already fucked up anything that could be considered normal operations, so who knows. Once you are there and anybody realizes it, it's obvious what you're there for. I imagine that's kind of a no-brainer, but I wanted to point it out just to make sure. That said, if you time your arrival to shortly after the arrival of the Blackguard, which is the plan, you'll be able to effectively enter the ship via their wake and simply clean up after them as you close with the Blackguard for your final assault on them. So Badge's plan, suggestion, intent, whatever you want to call it, is that you arrive shortly after the Blackguard so that you just take down the Blackguard, who presumably will have already taken down the majority, if not all, of the opposition on board. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now in character, Badge is going to stop at this point and give you guys a chance to ask any questions you might want. I can also change whichever deck plans you want up. There are 5 decks, conveniently named Deck A through Deck E, so I can go ahead and throw them up as needed. Deck C is the one that's going to be the primary action deck, because that has your primary engineering and primary flight deck. There, let me just put it up for you. Oops. So Deck C has the bridge, it has the main engineering, it has a variety of things. One cool feature about the Kremlin is everything in the forward dart section can separate and proceed at subluminal speed slower than light from the main drive bullshit of everything in the back. And for some reason, the drop pilot call sign's name is going to be Deuces, so Eckhart's name for this mission is Deuces. Because Hachin redeemed a thing. This deck is, as I mentioned, probably going to be your busiest deck. This is where all the command and control functions and activities are. The other 3 decks are of some import, and I'm going to pull them up going from the top down. Remember again that you will probably be arriving on Deck E, but I'm going to start at Deck A for this. So Deck A is the hangar. This is basically this is where the assault forces are positioned. So you have the MiG interceptor bays and you have the cargo bays, and that's also where any ox vehicles or other vehicles would be stored for transit to the surface.
Mhm.
Deck B is your colony dormitories and sleeper area. This is if they were carrying colonists or what have you, they would have their colony related stuff in here. So probably civilians, probably not a very important deck insofar as a military operation is concerned, unless they're carrying nothing but extra troops. Deck C, as I mentioned before, is basically your command deck. It has your bridge in the far right or on the dart section, as well as auxiliary stations in the dart, and then you have your main engineering in the aft, along with medical, and some additional stuff. Deck D is your military transport, your troop dormitories, and a secondary engines maintenance access point. Leave that up for another moment, and then we'll hit Deck E.
Do we know where the Blackguard are going to be going in from?
Don't know what their exact plan of entry is. Badge is assuming the hangar, Deck E. Inserting
What's their objective?
Their objective from what they... Well, that's the thing. They don't really know what their plan is. What they do know is they're assaulting this ship, but what they're going to do with the ship after that is unknown. Whether they're here to grab something from the ship, whether they're going to seize the ship, whether they're going to take the ship somewhere else, that's unknown, and that's actually one of your objectives. What are they doing with the ship?
So, so on floor C, I believe.
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up my notes from last week so I can refresh you guys on your mission objectives for this round. Give me 1 second. Okay. You're about to say something on deck something or other?
Deck C?
Uh-huh.
If they're crossing this line here, Warren would recommend that we actually separate the ship once we cross that line. And that way there it could stop any reinforcements from coming at us.
Does anybody else want to point it out before I do?
Okay.
If we separate on the front, we have the main drives will still be able to take that whole bit of the ship away, and we need to take the whole ship.
Well, actually, two things I want that Badge would point out when you bring this up, and I'm going to summarize out of character, but imagine he's saying it in character. There's two reasons why that's a bad idea. One, the forward section has no faster than light. It is sublight only. Secondly, any way to get anywhere else, i.e. out of this system, specifically your ship, Saturday the 14th, is in that back section. So you want to keep the ship together.
That is really good points. I should play more Sea of Thieves so that I can know how to take over ships better.
So generically, when one tries to take down a starship, you want the bridge and or engineering, and usually one or two other additional areas for extra emphasis to prove your point or make sure you can hold the ship. You definitely need, at a minimum, absolute bare bone minimum, engineering. The problem is, engineering can be overridden from the bridge, but obviously you can't take just the bridge because you can also be cut out from engineering. So you want to typically hit both engineering and the bridge, not necessarily simultaneously.
Really complicated.
Well, so yeah,
I see.
You don't necessarily have to do it simultaneously, but you want to get control of both of them as quick as you can. Ultimately.
Okay. So engineering's here, bridge is here. We can run across if we need to.
Right. So
yeah, but I mean,
what you're gonna want now. Keep in mind too.
Where is Ivan?
Ivan auxiliary frame is on C deck, and then Ivan's main frame, I believe, is on B. Let me double check.
No.
Thought I saw him on a maybe it was D.
There was one on the I think it was the main activity deck, and there were in the front and in the middle portion.
Well, you might be right.
Yeah, because there's some in the front portion. And
the main frame is in the front, and then the auxiliaries in the back half.
Yeah. One's by the bridge, and the other one's by the auxiliary.
By the way, before I show this on stream, I think you see my attempt to put some credit for the artist. This is not my work. The individual that put these maps together that we're using goes by, you can find this individual at deviantart.com/Arthur Dallas. I'm pretty sure if you go to that site, you can find their social media, but all of our Kremlin deck map art, I can't speak, is done by this individual, and I want to thank them for putting this in such a way that I can swipe it. Because I'm not 100% sure if this is like open use, so. But I didn't have to pay anything, and I didn't steal it per se from DeviantArt.
Wescott,
Yes, Sergeant Pike.
you've already got some experience messing with an Ivan.
I have not had any chance to learn any more Russian, have I?
It's a shame that in the 22nd century that you can't just go to sleep with a data shard shoved into the side of your neck and you can learn Russian right away.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean, this isn't Cyberpunk or The Matrix.
How long do you think it would take for you to seize control of Ivan?
Depends on if I have this very horrifying grin as I look over at Isaac, our new badge man purveyor of shiny objects that might hack things for me. And I go, I don't know, it depends on if I'm doing it manually or if I have some assistance from a not mother.
Let me figure out how I want to phrase this response from Badge Man.
I'm still mad that somebody hacked into my ship.
He says, I will give the medic a working copy of Karen. He will be the only one authorized to use it. But if you are assisting him in the insertion of Karen, taking down Ivan shouldn't take more than a few minutes. Shouldn't. It also depends on what version of Ivan we've got. If they've got a fully upgraded, most recent edition of Ivan, it may take significantly longer for Karen to do her job. And for the viewers who missed last week's episode, Karen is an intrusive program meant to replace the AI. Intrusively, I should point out. In a hijacking sort of way. And yes, she will speak to your manager. That's why I fucking named her Karen, just so I can make that stupid ass joke.
My next question, given the specs we have here,
yeah,
I want to, again, Wescott, what would it take to disable that disconnect?
I don't want the crew. They can't break it?
Well, I don't want the crew to be able to separate the ship. Our team's not big enough to do a simultaneous hit. Doctrine says we should. We're just going to have to deal with it. And since we're not going to be able to take out all the command and control in one go, we need to plan for them to want to separate.
I think Badge will cut in as you're trying to figure out how best to answer that question, and he will say something along the lines of, in our history of interacting with the UPP in this particular ship, there have been only 1 or 2 times where the command dart has separated from the drive section, usually because of damages rendered to one or the other. It's my understanding that the UPP generally refrains from doing such separation things because of the FTL loss. In other words, if they separate, they're expecting rescue. If they're separating because of a takeover, they're better off scuttling the ship.
Yeah.
Which can be done from the forward section. But again, once it separates, it loses connection with the rear.
I have to assume that this ship is going to be viable to Blackguard for one of 3 reasons. They either want the ship itself, they want somebody on the ship, or the ship is transporting something of value. And in 2 of those 3 cases, they cannot afford to allow us or the Blackguard to take the thing or the person.
Right.
A separation, scuttling the rear to try to kill us and hope that they can get rescued to continue their mission. I'd give that a 2/3.
A valid plan or valid thought. I leave the rest of the planning to you. I'm here for any support that I can provide. And when he says that, also he's got watchers like standing next to him, and he just gives him a little, whatever the space 80s future of thumb drives might be.
Yeah, because realistically, if you want to do that, you're going to have to make it so they can't disconnect it. So that would be severing both the automatic and the connections, and then the manual options for it, or making it so if they do sever it, that it would just kill them. And that would be like destroying all of the seal doors, which in and of itself is also a pain in the ass. Basically, we kind of have to take and hold and then sabotage it. Or, pop the bridge and then the other bridge and then one of the engineerings and then just own the last one that's remaining.
All right. We're going to need breaching charges.
That's a shame that you used all yours up on the last mission, huh?
That's true. That's true. But I'm willing to bet that there's probably a few cases of them laying around here.
Shocker! That there's an action team here on this ship that you didn't know about until today. And guess what an action team might at some point need for one of their aforementioned actions. So yeah, Badge gives you a smirk and says, yeah, it's a shame you lost all yours in the last mission. I suppose, and at this point, obviously he's playing it up. He's like, I suppose we can replenish some of that.
How magnanimous. And he looks really proud of himself because he looked that
Yeah, I think everybody looks at Pike and is like, wow, magnanimous. That's 4 syllables, I think. Yeah, that's 4.
I'm becoming more of a scholar.
As he puts away his Webster's dictionary for a day. Or no, he's got, I know what it is, on your desk in that little corner office of the, well, ironically, it's actually your desk of some tiny little closet on the Saturday the 14th. It's a little word of the day dictionary calendar thing. Magnanimous was like 2 weeks ago.
There's a crossword puzzle and he does 1 word a day.
Yeah. Most of the answers that you have put in have been crossed out with like multiple efforts to try different words.
Some of the words run past the boxes.
Oh yeah. Some of them are like too many letters. They're not enough.
It looks terrible. Pike is trying so hard.
It's like a kindergartner trying to color and just totally missing the lines. That's what it looks like at this point. Anyway, so yeah, Badge says, yeah, I'll make sure you get some breaching charges.
Yeah. I think that's all we need is breaching charges and ammunition.
All right. Do you have a plan?
Well, either they're going to go in through the bottom hangar and we'll follow that infill, or they're going to come in through a different way. They're going to come in through either the top hangars or they're going to try to hit these airlocks. I still want to come in, do the hangar on the bottom. So they're either going to open it or we're going to blast it open.
Okay.
We're going to make a beat for engineering. If we're lucky, the Blackguard will infill from E-deck as well, so they could hit. They could try to hit those troop quarters as quickly as possible to try to get them before they can organize an effective resistance. That's what I'd do. And if that's the case, they can win that firefight, and then we can win the next one. Make a beat for engineering.
Okay. Do you still have breaching charges on your character sheet, or did you delete them from being used up?
I deleted them.
All right, let me give you 6 assault marine breachers. I'm joking. I'm giving you 6.
Do we keep the flamethrowers or no?
Yeah, you can keep those. He's giving
Our
you 6.
Our mother isn't here to take them back away from us.
That's true.
Yeah, he is your supply and requisitions person. So You could change that number of breaching charges to 6.
They did.
Any other? And then obviously, ammo is not counted. Am I crazy? Oh no, you have reloads counted.
Yeah, we have reloads. I want to get us up to, for all of our weapons, I want to have us at 6 reloads.
Done.
Surprisingly, Matthew didn't actually panic while shooting once.
No, I don't think he did.
Mostly because he used the flamethrower most times.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and bump all your ammo reloads up to 6 for all of your weapon systems. Are you taking your RPG with you, Pike?
Yeah, I'm taking it. I have no warheads for it, but I'm sure I can find them.
Well, it's a Norcom, and I
that.
believe Norcom is a colonial unit or business, is it not?
No,
Or is that
this is
is that a
this is a
UPP?
this is a commie RPG.
Oh, I'm sure you could find some UPP warheads on a UPP ship. You just have to look hard enough.
Oh yeah, no, I'll bring it a launcher. I'll find some warheads. Yeah,
I have a rocket
think,
launcher too.
See, that has reloads you could probably find on this ship.
What's that?
His rocket. It's that's a Marine rocket.
Yeah, you could plus that one up for sure.
Hey, it's a weapon system. You have 6 reloads.
Yep.
No, it's the RPG launcher is a single use.
Yep, you have 6 of them.
So hold on, is it like the law?
Yeah.
So it's literally a one and done, like the AT-4. Now you don't have additional rockets. You have to carry. He's gonna walk into battle carrying like 6 big old tough box cases. Each one has an individual launcher with a missile in it.
No. Just imagine like the back of the back of his assault pack. It's got 6 laws, and it's all 550 cord like wrapped onto the back.
550 cord duct tape. There's a carabiner holding one on.
So for the underbarrel incinerator, is each unit of reload basically a grenade?
That's a good question.
That should be a fuel tank for the incinerator. Because
yeah,
it replaces
that's the one thing.
It replaces the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
So you can have one or the other actually on the rifle.
Okay.
So I'm taking off the
incinerator. And to be clear, Wally is not going on the mission, so we can move him to like medically retired.
Honestly, can I have my grenade launcher back? I'd rather have a grenade launcher than an incinerator for
Wescott?
Wescott. Yeah.
Can you drag and drop that, or do I need to put that on you?
You need to put it on because the grenade launcher is just gone.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it's just yeah.
So is it just implied as existing?
With the RMAT?
It's the default on pulse rifles.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't need to add anything for that then, correct?
I don't think so.
Are we bringing our pressure suits?
Yeah, we're gonna pressure suit for our entrance, and then once we got bulkhead sealed behind us, we're gonna lighten the load, take it off.
Okay, and that means that we have our personal armor on us.
You are bringing personal armor. It's going to be very uncomfortable, but you're going to wear it under the pressure suit.
That sounds about right.
That sounds like encumbrance.
Except I think the only one encumbered is Alita, right?
Well, it's certainly not going to be Mr. Elephant Man Pike.
Or Warren with 32 kilograms of encumbrance.
Yeah, well, that's right, because Warren's got pack mule too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Should I be putting air on my
pressure
suit?
Your pressure suits or whatever, they should all be fully recharged, so full air power, water, whatever they're supposed to carry.
Okay, so that's what, 4 air on the pressure suit then?
It's 4, correct.
I can't actually modify the number.
You do it from the inventory, not from the front page.
Oh.
And then go ahead and add, what is it, 5 of you? Add a total of 10 air canisters amongst the 5 of you.
I'll just carry 10 air canisters.
Yeah, Wescott's already overloaded.
You got talk amongst yourselves. I will be AFK just for a moment. I gotta go figure out what the hell I just heard. Be right back.
Oh.
Somebody made this thunky noise in the background, probably.
that
I'm trying
this
to
is going to be fighting the Blackguard. Like, we want to be close enough that we don't lose track of the teams.
Mhm.
We want them to engage the ship crew. So we're gonna have to be very particular about when we pick the time to attack the Blackguard. And we're gonna have to do it hard, and we have to do it vicious because they are all pikes. We're looking at 4 to 20 pikes.
Oh God.
Do you have field commander?
I do.
Cool. I might borrow that off of you then.
Okay.
I remember what. Okay, so observation. What page is this?
You can use command to give orders in combat as a fast action instead of a slow action. This effect means you can give orders twice in the same round.
Yep.
Okay, all is good. Did I miss anything?
Yeah,
Just
we're just
conspiring.
discussing some, because I have 10 XP to kill today before we even get to XP awarding. So I'm gonna borrow field commander off of Pike.
Can you guys
That's
transfer
a
that?
talent.
I mean, do I need to transfer that, or can you?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is you need to.
Okay. So Wescott is getting something from Pike. Is that right?
Yes.
Learning
Field
field
commander.
commander from me. So when we do engage the Blackguard, their objective is not us. So, but if they do decide that we are credible enough a threat that they do need to like realign and take us down, it's not going to be like fighting other people that you might have fought before. If you get wounded, you're not being pulled up, you're not being pulled back off the line. We cannot afford to take your gun out of the fight, even if it costs you your life. That cost could save others. This is going to be brutal.
Badge will also point out that in your past dealings, you have had very limited exposure to Blackguard operators. Your opponents have been mostly UPP or other. Your armor has protected you significantly against any firefights you might have been in previously. These individuals, as you should be well aware, carry some of the same weaponry or worse than what you wear or carry. Armor-piercing rounds, for instance. Your armor does not stand up as well to armor-piercing rounds as you might think it does. And I'm going to briefly not point out how flak vests and Kevlar plating is amazing. Because he's going to have a similar conversation about how your guys' armor is cool until it's shot at by your own people.
Yeah.
I just rub my chest like the memory hurts.
You get a little bit of that phantom pain.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she is actually still like twinges whenever she comes in and out of sleep, because it's not in like upright time. That's like only a few weeks ago at most.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
like she probably isn't like healed all the way still.
Well,
technically, if we go by normal human heal times.
I think the hypersleep if it weren't gives a little extra
mentally
healing.
No,
her
body may have in hypersleep.
No,
I just want to make sure he looks at right. I want to make sure you understand how intense this firefight is going to be.
I'm going to leave my baton rounds.
We are not going to we will lose a fair fight. We need to be vicious. We need to be quick. So that means no mercy.
If I'm not interrupting anything, I do want to review your guys' primary mission objectives. But don't let me do it now if you guys are still in the middle of trying to figure something out.
I think we got our plan.
Okay. So Badge will remind you your specific mission objectives are: seize the UPP ship and prevent its capture by the Blackguard. Determine what the Blackguard's mission parameters and objectives are. Gather any additional intelligence that is available. That includes from the UPP. He points out specifically. So intel from anywhere. Because I can tell you that to anybody in the intelligence gathering community, everybody is a sensor. So when intelligence gathering people work with other people, everybody can gather intel.
Yep.
So that's where he's going at with that last gather any further intelligence available. That's where he's coming from.
Okay.
Are there any other questions in or out of character regarding the plan and prepping and whatnot?
Can I get a refill on my Armat M40 HEDP grenades?
Do you need me to input that for you, or are you good?
No, I have one apparently left.
Well, you can just change the quantity to indicate you have multiple grenades.
Which one is this?
Yeah, but I mean, like, am I getting more grenades? Or...
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
These are individual actual hand-thrown grenades, or are these grenade fired?
Both.
Yeah, they can be lobbed or shot.
What am I looking for? It's
No,
on right, correct? Or Warren?
No, on Warren.
Yeah, it can be used as a explosive.
So remember when Gorman popped the button and blew himself up?
Yes. Yeah, I got you. Yep.
That's the grenade. You can feed it into the launcher, or you can pop the top and like throw it.
What's the standard loadout for those M40s? Oh, you got 6 on here for Warren, so you're good there.
Yeah, I just put 6. I mean, do you want me to put less?
Actually, I think 1 for quantity and then 6 for reload.
Is that how that works?
I think. Am I crazy?
I mean, just don't put something in both because it'll multiply your weight.
Oh, don't put something in both.
Yeah, pick one or the other.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, because what I just said was put something in both.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess either way, yeah, as long as you've got 6 grenades.
Okay, then that works out that way.
Yeah.
Just trying to shave anything I can off her right, because as tough as she is over encumbered. But I suppose as soon as the IRC M35 pressure suit's off, then it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Is that the plan? You guys are going to take them off at some point?
Yeah, because we're going to need the mobility.
Yeah.
I mean, if the ship scuttles, we're not getting off that thing, so.
Well, so my thought is this, like, maybe, I think in this particular case, you guys wouldn't go onto the ship wearing the pressure suits unless you intended to dump pressure at some point. Like, go to engineering and dump pressure.
I want us wearing them for the infill because we don't know whether or not we're going to have to blast our way into that.
That's
hangar.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Can I get a pup?
Don't you have one?
No.
It's underground right now.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
we left it
back
behind.
on the mine.
Yeah. Okay. That goes on Wescott?
Oh, I have it on my sheet still. I'm just asking nicely if I can get one back.
Yeah, you can have it back.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yes, Pup's mapping device. Down there in your footlocker.
Yeah.
Marine commendation medal and cat plushie.
Did you read that I still have the flag from the first mission on there too?
Oh, do you? I saw something else. I didn't read it.
Yeah, she took the flag
anything.
and refused to return it.
The UPP flag from the Blaze of
Well, no, the very first sim mission where Pike was examining.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The capture the flag mission. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, I still have it.
Nice.
It's probably in my locker because it's funny at this point.
I think if she had it hung up, that would be best. But that, I mean, don't tell me.
It's probably hanging on the inside of my locker door.
Yeah. And probably with like stickers around it going, "We're the best team ever" or something like that.
Oh no, it'd be really sad. Like it's hanging there, and underneath it, taped to it, is a picture of the original team.
Oh.
But it's not like the picture is there for memory's sake. But the picture was put there from like one of the first couple of days before that first mission.
But Pike's not in that picture.
No.
That's the 4 of them in a picture together. Like we made it.
Yeah, we made it. We made it to the big leagues. And then, oh my God, the big leagues fucking suck. And then months later, Winston buys it. And what was that other kid's name? The other
Watts.
W? Watts, that's it.
Watts.
he goes off to a loony bin for the rest of his life.
Sir Shanks a lot.
Sir Shanks a lot. Oh my god.
He knifed a lot of dudes.
Was that? I thought that was Warren that did that.
Warren was unarmed for almost that whole fight.
Yeah, Warren double kicked someone into the elevator.
I mean, there was a lot of
some wild
going
shit
around.
Man, Warren and Watts had some shit going on down there for a hot minute.
Oh my god.
That was
like
wild.
I just assume like all of Kane's weapons come with an extra bayonet attached to the side or something.
The bayonet on a bayonet.
We screw a handle onto it and spray paint it green.
There you go. All right, so anything else regarding prep for this mission, in or out of character? Anything else?
Is making the ship harder to breathe a war crime? You know, I don't think Pike gives a fuck.
Listen, when it comes to taking down a ship, there's a couple of different ways to do it. If you can get access to main engineering, for instance, you can absolutely fuck with life support.
So, anyway,
you mean like Wescott isn't already planning that? I'm pretty sure Wescott's war crimes are going to be much worse than Pike's war crimes.
All I'm going to say is when a civilian working for the highest Department of Defense agency office in the land says take down a ship, doesn't really give you much else to work with except all of the support he can give you. It's not like Badger saying nope, gotta pay. You gotta play fair. Keep the oxygen and the gravity left. Leave that alone.
I think the only stuff that Pike has left is he wants to bag drag Watcher to make sure he's got everything we need.
Okay. Unless you really want to get into that, we can just assume he's good to go.
Yeah,
I feel like if he was missing
all of these extra med kits because I'm carrying these. I don't know what the fuck to do with them. Give those to the medic.
Do you need me to drag them over, or you got it?
I don't know if I can drag them. I'm gonna try. Let's see.
No. Pike is definitely carrying some extra because he needs to carry nap relief because he's going to have to hit Wescott with them several times in this mission.
I have nap relief. Don't you worry.
Well, at the moment you have one
give
nap
Wescott
relief.
the nap relief.
Would you like more? Would you like to plead your case to the badge man to see if you can get more nap relief? I only know that because I just opened up your inventory and watched your medic packs disappear.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have those medic packs. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with them anyways. No, you know what? It's gonna happen. Like while we're in the briefing room, Pike is thinking, and he pulls out his what did I name it?
I just gave you 3 additional the
squad care package.
The squad care package. He pulls out the squad care package pouch and he opens it up and he rolls it out, and you can see like the 3 cans of dip that are strapped in, and like the 2 cards, like the packs of cigarettes, the caffeine pills, and then like the nap relief bottle, and he like shakes it and he's like, and he looks over at Watcher. I'm gonna need a refill on these.
All right. Look, you've got 3 more.
Are they labeled with each of our names? For who do you need to remember to dose with them?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Pike would either have that memorized because he's a good NCO, or he would actually be like, I don't remember which one of you fuckers needs caffeine because you're all normies to me.
He knows whose like kid is for who.
I did give you more nap relief. I don't know if you saw that yet.
Yeah, so he's got nap relief in there. He rolled it back up, sticks it in.
Yeah, Wescott would not tell the medic that he is going to have to nap relieve her probably, because it wouldn't really like.
I think there is a moment if you want, you could have Watcher go to each of the other player characters and be like, "All right, give me the short rundown version of your medical problems I need to keep an eye out for." And I feel like maybe because this isn't his first rodeo, but it's not necessarily his most dangerous, serious rodeo, he may or may not imply medical and or mental.
Well, yeah, that you know, I'm curious about how characters would answer that. Let's start with Wescott. Watcher will come over and he'll be discreet about it. Like, Sergeant.
Watcher.
Is there anything that I need to know to keep you in the fight? just between you and me.
It's your personal private military medical care provider.
Mm,
You know, HIPAA.
honestly, is she honest? She. I'm good at managing other people's stress. Mine is more of a challenge.
I can fix that. All right. Is there anything else I need to know?
Should probably double check the ports on the back of my suit because Pike used them regularly.
I'll when I'm putting my stuff up, I'll take a look and make sure I didn't damage those.
The fact that she says use them regularly.
Yeah. It like Watchers seems totally cool with that. Like I want to just like emphasize that Watcher's demeanor is just chill. Like he doesn't seem bothered by much. He's giving off that very chill bro vibe of like, hey man, this is our business, fuck.
Yeah.
He only has.
I do tell him that I don't think we're going to be running into any more of those mind control fuckers. But
we gave Watcher an extra Napoli.
If we do, duck. Because getting shot fucking sucks.
Yeah, here's a good shot. An unfortunately good shot in that circumstance.
She's just sitting there rubbing the spot unconsciously.
That give you any problems?
No, it's healed up.
Let me know if it does. I got something for that too.
She will probably give like the brief rundown of the. She just looks at Pike and you been read in on that?
Are talking about his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been briefed on the staff sergeant.
That was a discreet way to say, yeah, he ain't normal. Sorry.
When he gets going, don't stop him. You don't want to be in the way of that. I mean, the rest of us aren't much better, but he packs a hell of a punch.
Yeah, sounds good to me, Sergeant. I plan to come back. I don't know.
Good. We all do. The entire purpose of what we're doing here. Go out, do shit, come home. I just give him the equivalent of the like, oh god.
You shoot
like
him
the
away
tap
now?
on the shoulder dismissal. Like
Okay.
there's a word for it. It's like the fist bump, except that I'm tapping the side of his arm as I'm walking away.
He's gonna go find Warren.
Warren's just kind of chilling there.
I feel like Warren's probably going through the last of his stuff too, just to make sure he's got everything he wants.
Yeah, he's got a cigarette going. He's looking at his stuff. He's thinking about throwing away his everything else that he has that's not useful. Just kind of like mementos and things.
Hey, I just wanted to check in, see if there's anything I need to know to keep you on the fight.
He like closes his thing really quickly because he figures the guy's probably trying to look into his locker. He's like, nah, it's okay, man.
All right.
Are you chain smoking while you're saying this?
No, man, it's okay.
All right. I mean, I HIPAA and all that. I understand sanctity of the team. I'm the new guy. But if there is something you need, just let me know.
Takes a big drag. It's like, well, before I tell you to get wrecked.
He walks away.
I'm just picturing Warren has become this unofficial de facto second or third in command, and he basically just told the new guy to go get fucked.
I mean, it's within his rights. At this
No,
point.
absolutely, and I love that because Warren is like the only boot who's been here the whole time, and he's finally got like a little bit of like credibility to him because of his experience. It's amazing. I
It's
love
not
it.
even
Warren
it's not
ain't
even
no
the
boot no
credibility.
more.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what I mean though. Like he's the lowest rank, but he's been here the longest, other than the two ranked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with that.
He's like in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
and
He's the middle child.
He understands. He understands that
The
he's
middle
in the
child
middle.
has graduated college and become an adult.
And he likes where he is, but he also does not care about like the newer people.
Which
They're
is
gonna
normal.
they're gonna cycle. They're gonna cycle.
Which is normal for people in that position.
Mhm.
You have right,
I'll-
and I think that's it. Unless you want the
I'll go
medic to
find
actually
Right.
interact with Pike.
I'll go find Right.
Okay.
Right is reading the huge folder that was kind of left for her.
Hey, I was just wanted to check in, see if there's anything I need to know to keep you in the fight.
Keep me in the fight. Have you seen this folder?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, I had
How
my
well
own.
do?
I had my own literature before coming down to the.
Yeah, I don't know what you know. But I don't think we can be in the fight if we get nuked. And she just like keeps ruminating about getting nuked.
Well, I mean,
Hey, Wescott,
if you get
her
it,
stealth. Has she gotten to the point where Wescott disarms and then shoots them back at people yet? Because that was a moment there.
Yeah, that was later, I guess. She's only halfway through.
Yeah.
I mean, so is there any like lingering injuries or anything?
I don't think she's got anything that
I don't think she has anything physical.
no, she's gonna leave that for that. But other than a trick and knee of like martial arts combat here and there, she's pretty normal physically.
Okay.
So I guess no. I got my rifle, my plasteel shield. Hopefully that's enough for whatever is coming at us this time.
Well, I mean, this is probably gonna suck. So, just let me know if you need something to take the edge off.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
It's a way more polite way of saying like, okay, go on.
The Canadian, thank you.
So,
Sorry.
I did give Pike a rifle. I feel like Badge wouldn't let him go out without one.
Oh, so not baby Pike now has a rifle? Okay.
Well, my thinking is this. In the context of what Watcher was doing before joining the team, and especially what he's about to be doing with this team, Watcher going out with a pistol only is dumb. Because he's more of a spec ops medic than he is a corpsman.
Rifle is a standard part of his kit. He's supposed to have
Everyone has it.
I didn't see one on there, that's why I gave him one. Okay.
Well, all Marines have a standard kit, and then they have a Moss kit, and then they have the optional pick list.
I didn't see.
Like he should have a shoulder lamp and a like.
Yeah. He's got all that, but either I missed it last week, or he just didn't get one. He just didn't get one, but he has one now. So he's got the pistol and the pulse rifle.
How much would it cost to get a pistol?
1 month's pay, duh. Don't listen to me. Okay.
Yeah, about yeah, right.
I think there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. So, last call. Anything else? In or out of character?
Because this occurs every time we're on a spaceship, and anytime we're up against any like people, but Warren gets unarmed really quickly for some reason and ends up beating people to death, and has figured that either a knife or a sidearm might be a good idea. He has the knife, and he thinks the sidearm is starting to look like a better idea too. How do I get myself? How do I get myself a hand on a sidearm?
Well, normally you would go through Mother to see if she would approve.
Actually, you know what I want to do, because we're going to be dealing with Blackguard in close quarters like this.
Yeah.
I want to put in a rec order for everybody who does not have the standard sidearm to have a sidearm.
Alright,
I
that
do
would be
not have a
nice.
standard sidearm.
let's see.
I think Watts was the only one who did, and it wasn't
Look,
even a standard one.
Look, I played Modern Warfare 2. I know that swapping to your secondary is faster than reloading.
It
Unless
is.
you've got the reload perks.
Hey, look, I'm just excited that I'm going to be able to just command people to shoot better. Because that's a better off solution for my character. Because let's be clear, she has more points in command than she has in ranged combat. Hell, she has more points in close combat and comtech too. She's better off commanding other people to shoot, because then she can give them an entire stack of fucking pluses.
Oh, that would be nice.
Even if Pike has more ranks in command than you do, his dice pool is still smaller.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I also have 4 empathy. That helps a lot.
Yeah. He's got 7 ranks in command. I mean,
All right, Pike has a pistol.
I'm just rolling 9 command.
Wescott has a pistol. Wright has a pistol. Warren
My
has a
poor
pistol. Good luck with
inventory.
your encumbrances.
That'll happen.
Give yourselves 3 reloads as well for those pistols. On top of, so, 1 magazine plus 3 additional. Effectively is what I'm going for.
So 3?
However you have to
How
set it up
much?
on the character sheet, you'll have your 1 magazine plus 3 reloads.
Okay.
yeah, so we just put 3 in the reload box.
Yeah.
Because I think that's actually pretty close to standard loadout. Basic issue was BLI, BIL, LBI.
What about Bill?
I don't know. I'm Air Force.
The one, listen, even in the Air Force, y'all carry like a specific load, like 7 magazines total.
Yeah,
Anyway, basic issue load, basic issue, load issue basic. I don't know what the fuck's called. I forget. 210 rounds of 5.56, and I want to say 3 or 4 magazines of either 9 mil or 45 caliber, depending on what your sidearm is.
I mean, I carried 3 total, but again, not Army.
Yeah, no, I know. I keep forgetting sometimes.
Then again, we also had we all had handguns instead of just some NCOs and the officers.
Yeah. In that case, we get a montage of sorts of you guys getting prepped and loaded out. Pike and Wescott walking
Wescott definitely makes sure Watcher has all of his stuff as they're getting loaded in.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the
She
things.
goes over all of his gear too, like she does everyone else's.
Yep.
He
Well,
does
that's the way
not
it should
get
be.
a pass.
Because, traditionally what it should be is the sergeant does the actual hands-on inventory, and then the staff sergeant either supervises or then comes by to verify everything at the end. So that's the way. That's the way it was in the Army.
He is getting the exact same amount of shit as the others are.
Yeah.
She also teases him just as much as she teases the others.
Oh, absolutely.
To build the immediate this is just another fucker on the team.
Yep. How's Watcher take all that? Because I imagine he's like, yeah, this isn't my first rodeo.
Yeah, no, I mean he appreciates that he's being integrated.
Okay.
Because she is very carefully treating him just like she does the other two.
He's not being treated as an outsider, and that shit doesn't bother him. So he's appreciative of the fact that at least Sergeant Wescott is treating him as the even if it's short term, the member of the team that he is.
Okay. And of course we see this in the montage. It's just there's some sort of sappy, slow, bluesy rock going on as the camera pans through everything. Yes, Luke, just for you. Definitely early 2000s montage at the end of an episode. As we go through, everybody's going through their layouts and going through their gear, stowing their gear on the Saturday the 14th, and we see eventually Badgeman and Pike on the ramp, Badge on the deck of the Badge ship, because we've never named the ship.
He's not going to tell us even if we asked.
He won't. And Pike on the ramp of the Saturday the 14th as they do the final, Han Solo salute. No, wait, it's more like this, but whatever. It does the Han Solo salute to you as the ramp starts to close up, and then we see Pike turning around, going back on, deeper into the Saturday the 14th, and stripping down to his skivvies to go into the cryo sleep, where the rest of the team is already, stripped down and in tubes. And we see the ship almost as if it's on like autopilot, flipping out into space and zooming out to the outer edge of the system. And roll credits. Nice little prep episode to get us into the next mission, because even despite the time, if we started the next mission right now, it would get ugly quick and we just have to end anyway. So, and by ugly, I mean a lot of stuff going on. Don't read into that.
Okay.
So let's do.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have another 8 sessions worth of next mission.
Of course, that's par for the course. It'll be at least 2 sessions, I guarantee. Unless you guys do something crazy that I have not anticipated.
So they can come back to the ship and Wescott can try beating on Watcher, to break him in.
That's if Watcher actually officially joins the team. That'll be determined narratively later.
You think while he's temporarily tasked, she's going to let him get away like he isn't?
Yeah. For my notes, what was the expected? What was in our briefing? What was the typical troop complement?
I had it in my journal entries. Give me a second.
She said about 200 people previously.
I think that's what it is too. Yeah. Yes. Kremlin class ship comes with a crew of 18 personnel and onboard AI, the Ivan 3. Pike definitely would know this as part of his normal military knowledge, is that the Kremlin can also be automated with, I think, like either 3, 4, 5 not working Joes, whatever the other android is. Not the combat one. I forget which one it is, but with androids and Ivan basically be automated, and with a much smaller human crew, maybe like 1, if even that. It could also carry up to 200 troops and their various equipment, and that potentially you could be facing you and the Blackguard could potentially be facing all of that.
I feel like we should have had a backpack full of ammo.
Yeah, I was waiting for Pike to literally suggest backpack of slugs.
I mean, normally we get 2 reloads. I got us up to 6, and
literally tripled your load.
and I got us extra guns and all of their reloads. I got us.
You guys have a lot of bang bang.
It's only an issue of us needing to kill extra people if there's troops on the ship. And if there's troops on the ship, the troops should have equipment. So all we do is we kill some, we steal their shit, and then kill more with their shit.
Except that the UPP rounds aren't normally armor piercing.
Yeah, but we don't need
that's the John McClane.
We don't need we don't need those UPP rounds for the Blackguard. We need those UPP rounds for the UPP.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Save the good rounds for the bad guys, and save the bad rounds for the not so bad guys. All right, let's do experience points. Everybody gets a point for participation. There's a part of me that dies inside every time I say that because of how I phrase it.
Sounds like a bit of a personal problem there, my friend.
Just a small part of me dying. Anybody risk or sacrifice something to further your agenda? Don't believe we had any of this.
I don't think so. I mean, Pike asked for, he just kept asking for shit, which was super atypical of him, but I don't think that was risky.
Well, and the things you were asking for were probably going to be given to you based on the nature of things, so. Not because you were asking for them, but because it made sense for you to ask for them. Or receive them, as the case may be. Did you risk your life for your buddy? Don't think we had much of that going either. Any takers? Alright. Did you challenge or stand up to your rival? Wally, possibly, but we have effectively retired him.
I DD'd Wally. I'm pretty sure that constitutes fucking with my rival.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, take a point.
Look.
Telling...
Wescott threw Wally in there like she was feeding him to sharks. If Wally was her listed rival, she would have gotten that point too.
Yes.
But he's not.
But you sacrificed somebody. So in a way, you sacrificed, this is going to be really outlandish, I'm not allowing it, but just for the humor, I will say this. You sacrificed Wally, so that the rest of your personal agenda, keeping your team alive, can be done.
Basically.
You kept Wally alive by getting him fired.
By getting him fired, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was doing her agenda. She was very upset with him and making him do lots and lots of circles and then cleaning and then circles and then cleaning.
Ironically, as it turns out, the only person that made a panic roll doesn't get the experience for it because it's no longer part of the game.
Oh. I wanna note that Warren told the new boot to go before he tells him to screw off or something.
Okay.
And his rival is the new boots. But I'm not sure if that's valid.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I was gonna say, I remember it was something like there was an implied threat of violence if he stuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay, before I tell you to like screw off or it's like something.
Yeah, it was like, this is a good time for you to finish up and leave and do something else, because otherwise I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself.
So was Wescott the only one who treated him like a normal, reasonable member of the team?
I mean, I haven't talked to myself yet, so.
Right was
I think
like,
in theory,
okay
Pike has treated him like another member of the team. It's just, yeah, Kane doesn't want to talk to himself like that.
Oh no, I have no problem talking
Wright
to
was
myself. It just didn't come up.
Yeah. What were you saying, Luke?
Wright was okay with him, so.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really just Warren doesn't want to meet a new person and watch him go.
Yeah. Well, you know it'd be cool is Warren, in a way, is like being standoffish and almost threatening and aggressive because he doesn't want to have to deal with losing another friend.
Another medic.
Another medic, yeah.
Oh, what if being a medic in this team is the cursed position?
That and the heavy dies. What was Wally's role?
Yeah, but Wally didn't die.
No, but he definitely didn't make it.
Smart gunner?
Watts was the
Watts was Seaburn.
Seaburn, yeah.
Seaburn, okay.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So yeah,
he also didn't die.
yeah, he also didn't die.
That's a fair point. Overcome dangerous event using violence or non-violent. I don't think we had any of that.
No.
I also don't think we had any significant discoveries or revelations.
Right.
Has
the folder.
Ooh, that's right. Not to make a pun, but that would have been a good one. Yep, right can take that one. Yeah, now she's basically been read in on all the past history.
Even if not that, got read on the AWs and the Blackguard, and and whatever Wright's going to think about the potential conflict of interest when Pike said the Blackguard are AW and I'm AW.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Luke. I need Wright. I need Wright to make some sort of empathy roll because she has digested and consumed all of that information.
Oh yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Absolutely.
I feel like based on what you told me before that an empathy roll here is okay. Now you don't need to give away too much, but what does this mean for Wright that she failed this empathy
roll? Oh, say it was privately rolled.
Oh shit, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You can't see it. I didn't know if that was.
Oh, I forgot that I had put that as private. Okay.
I can't tell because it just says rolled.
Yeah.
What does this mean? And however you could phrase it, or however you want to phrase it for everybody.
So the way that I wanted to work it earlier, when I selected private GM role at some point, was during the conversation with him trying to like humanize himself with Wright, and whether or not like she would buy it.
Yeah, basically, yeah, whether or not she would give a shit.
Yeah, and no buying of that was
because there was no empathy. You failed the empathy roll, which means that you're cold to it, effectively.
Yeah.
So, having read all of that and this roll result, is this a continuation of that cold shoulder, don't give a shit, it's still wrong, or is this okay? I'm starting to understand why some decisions might have been made. I feel like it's more.
I will
former.
DM you. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So depending on like certain situations, it'll do some certain things.
Okay.
But it's also funny that like Pike's objective for that conversation wasn't to be like, I'm a good guy, because he's not, and he knows he's not. He was trying to be sympathetic to like, I understand that was a lot, and like, do you still want to be here? I will find like what do you need and want right now. He was trying. He was.
How can I support you in moving forward, whatever that forward movement might look like?
Yeah,
It
he
could
wasn't trying to
be.
humanize himself. He was trying to reach out and bring you into the team.
And I love
Oh, okay.
how Wright can easily just be like, was he trying to relate to me? This motherfucker who wantonly destroyed all kinds of shit in front of me? I love it. I love it. I can't wait for this to culminate.
Yeah, Pike's not ashamed of who he is.
No, we know. We know. Let's see.
Right is finding out.
Any extraordinary action? Yeah. I don't believe we had any.
Mm.
And then lastly, of course, everybody's getting paid still because nobody got docked. Well, the one guy that did doesn't matter.
He got docked the rest of his pay.
Yeah. So this also applies to Watcher, by the way, these points that everybody is getting, which I think at this point is really only about 2 points for Watcher, but
yeah, Watcher got 2 points.
He'll be all right. He'll live.
He's also got his buddy and rival.
Oh, what do we got?
His buddy is Wescott.
Okay. Any particular reasoning or thought process on that?
Because Wescott was the one that reached out and tried to integrate him.
Fair. Legit.
And his rival is Warren because Warren was an absolute dick to him. He's like, all right, fuck this guy.
Perfect. That'll be awesome. Okay. Rodance.
Pike needs a new rival.
Ooh.
His rival's gone.
Yeah. I wonder. Does it go to?
Hey, look, I've had Pike as Wescott's both rival and buddy for a long time now. So
I don't know if making Wescott a rival is good. I wonder if making Wright a rival, not because of what Luke is trying to do, but maybe because now that he's taking care of Wally, now his eyes are on. Okay, let me back up. Let me rephrase. So this is what I think, and obviously this is my suggestion. Don't do it if you don't want to. I wonder, now that Wally's gone, Pike probably feels a certain amount of vindication to some degree, right? Like he's done something good because that guy did not belong here, period. Now his next questionable person is Wright. Unless something happens with Watcher. Watcher, I think Pike would see Watcher as someone who's been vouched for by the fact that Badge not only had him available, but also said, take him. And didn't give you any sort of like, take him because I can't handle him sort of vibe. So maybe Wright is your new rival. Of course, this is entirely up to you.
I think like Warren is his buddy, and at this point, Pike thinks that like in Pike's mind, Warren shit's gold. So he's got nothing to be upset with Warren about.
Just like the Lannisters, apparently.
Yeah. He sees Wescott as a success story at this point.
He's doing great.
He's got no problems with Wescott. Like even with her like depressive whatever stuff, like she still gets shit done and she knows what she needs to do to make it happen. And he's got nothing but respect for that.
You have lasted a long time, Wescott.
Yeah.
I survived through a lot of crap. And now she's going to be a non-functional human being at the end. Oh, God.
He's totally indifferent to Watcher. He's not suspicious of him because he comes from Badge Man and he wasn't forced on the team. He was offered.
Yeah.
He's been compliant. He has no opinion on him. He's a nobody to him. In Wright didn't quit. And then in the office, like he flat asked, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to stay here? What do we got to do here? And Wright wanted to stay, continue to not quit. And he's like, all right. So I don't think he's going to have a rival for next session. I don't think he has
Badge
a beef with
Man
anybody
is
right
his
now.
new rival then. I'm joking.
There was a time when that definitely would have worked, but right now, Badge Man is his path to feeling like he might have a way to undo the damage he's done to the Marines.
Badge is actually his path to humanity.
No, it's his path to
listen, humanity as Pike understands it, which is not the same as humanity compared to everybody else.
That's Eckhart.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fair. That's probably even more better. All right, let's do some feedback and outros, starting with Rodance. Feedback, comments, outro comments. What do you got?
I really want to see what surviving to the end of this mission looks like.
I want to know what surviving to the end of this season looks like, but don't let me.
Oh God, yes. I mean, I can just imagine. I think I can't decide if like she would like Wescott, if she does survive, she'd be too like mentally broken to do it.
She's literally gonna be the mother-in-law
progressively
house.
worse and worse situations.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe going off into the deep end of space is not such a bad idea for her.
No, she will go out as like it is this her variation of she needs like rehab after this point. She learns to be to fix the broken holes while like Pike learns to be a normal human being again. It'll be funny.
You mean learns how to be a normal human? Not again.
Yeah.
He never was normal.
Well, she has to be returned to being a semi-normal person while he gets to learn the first time around, and it's going to be an interesting experience for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be interesting, right? Like if it's there, like afterwards, if they both survive, having the realization for the two of them that like for Pike, he wants to learn how to live his life with Eckhart, and that's a lot to put on Eckhart.
Oh, I can see a divorce a few years in, just because she just hits a point where she's like, I can't understand you anymore.
Well, his, but I'm thinking what could be interesting is like his way of trying to like do the work without putting so much on her is he is looking at his life and everything, and then seeing that what he did to Wescott and being like, we're gonna get better together, or we're gonna die trying. You are now my Wescott.
Luke, what do you got? Outro comments, feedback comments, maybe plugging a game that you want to get into that we talked about before the stream. No pressure. Is he frozen?
Oh, no. Oh, yes. I just clued in because I'm exhausted.
Oh, my bad.
Two things, I guess. One, the dark foreboding abyss of like the void closing in on what is essentially the ending of this series is hilarious and great, and it's got a great feeling, and I'm pumped.
I have plans.
There's only like 2 missions left, right? Like
this one, and then the next mission after that will be the culmination episodes of this.
Unless we TPK.
Season. Yeah. I mean, it's still possible. Yeah, you can TPK on your approach. All it takes right now, on approach, all it takes is a single missile.
Yeah, it's not great. And the other thing is that I may be starting a one-shot expand series quite soon, so you'll see a lot more ship-to-ship combat and some interpersonal bullshittery.
Interpersonal bullshittery, I love that term. And if we do this one-shot, which I'm looking forward to, so I'm very hopeful and expectant, I will be playing a pilot who may or may not be all there in the head. So this will be interesting for me.
Yeah.
I haven't made my character yet, but this is like the initial like snapshot concept that I have, is that it's a pilot that may or may not be somewhat on the spectrum.
Okay. So playing close to home, eh? No.
I want to argue that, but I really just can't. I can't.
You're just trading in your delivery truck for a starship.
Basically. Wow, way to call me out as being on the spectrum, guys.
You're welcome.
Not that I was trying to hide it. I've never been tested, so maybe I'm not. But yet, let's just be real.
I don't know. There's 4 of us here, and I'm gonna flip a dice here and basically just call us all out, I guess.
You don't even need to flip the dice. Just call us all out. Cade, what do you got for outro and feedback, my friend? Oh, sorry, Luke. Did you have any more? I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
You sure? I do tend to jump pretty quick.
No, it's okay.
All right, Kane, what do you got, my friend?
I'm actually really worried about this mission.
Yeah. What's got you worried? Because you never saw this mission in any book before? Because the GM totally made this shit up for you?
No. There's a lot of potential for this to go very badly.
Oh yeah, that's why I like it.
I'm trying so hard to keep people alive.
God damn it, Omar, you're trying to kill us again.
Yeah. The thing is that like it's like a really soft balance where like if you push too hard, all of us die.
Yeah.
And like if you don't push hard enough, none of us die.
It's if I don't
like
push
this
hard enough,
weird
it's not
tipping
a
point.
challenge, and the players are meh about it. Yeah, there's definitely a fine line in there, but I think with the way I have it set up, you'll be okay.
As much as the results might suggest otherwise to you, I have had to work very hard to keep us alive as long as I have.
I will tell you. Listen, there's on the one hand, there has been outright attempts on my part to kill a character, not anyone in particular, just any one of you, right? On the other hand, when I have been making those active, concerted efforts, the dice are like, no, go fuck yourself. We don't want to kill them. I'm like, what the shit, man? Or, conversely, it's not my dice that suck. Your guys' dice are amazing. So I'm sitting here going, well, that entire alien horde that was sitting there waiting to jump you guys just got taken out because one of you sneezed in the right direction at the right time, gave them all away, and boom, done. And I'm just sitting here going like, well, I guess I don't get a kill today.
I'm also kind of curious, and this is just me, because we're recording idle thoughts for later, so I can laugh at myself later. I'm wondering whether or not there is a potential impending betrayal by Wright.
I should not have giggled like that. God damn it.
Because
look, more drama is entertaining, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
But it has to be like agreed upon ahead of time drama.
Yeah.
Because Pike, like,
consensual
Pike
drama.
knows. Because Pike knows that, like, he understands the shock, especially with him like putting down the miner. Like, he understands that this is a wild ride. And he does just genuinely want to get right in and out the other side of this. And he's not trying to get right to change his like personality. He's just trying to get right to understand what needs to happen for this mission. And when it's over, like, he offered to if you want to leave, I'll take you out, or you can ride this to the end. Like, he's genuinely concerned. He's concerned for all of his Marines. So it's going to be interesting.
Luke has told me, effectively, he's told me one thing that he would like to do about this potential arc. And I'm trying not to give away too much. I'm trying to just let Luke do what he does.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to push certain things like the empathy roll, for instance, because I feel like that's a very useful tool, a la Pendragon, to have that when confronted with new information or new situation or whatever. So hopefully what I'm doing is not really pushing Luke in a particular direction with his character, but maybe giving him ideas or planting seeds for what he can do with his character, so that when it is time to make a decision, he's got more options or more information, more whatever the case might be. Because I'll tell you, the thing he sent me last week, I literally let me pull this up. I'm not going to read what he said. I'm going to read what I said. Let me see, where is it?
Yeah, we can discuss a little bit more if you want spoilers and stuff after the recording or something.
Yeah,
Let's don't say anything about your response on recording.
You want me to hold on my response?
Yeah.
Okay, because you need to tell us, but you don't tell the audience. That's ruining the surprise for them.
No, that's fair. That's fair. There you go, audience. I just made you want to stick around for more.
But so, for the end of my outro, this mission concerns me way more than the one that's after it. And if for future me to watch this afterwards and giggle, I am worried about a potential of a Wright betrayal.
Well, speaking of eventual cursing inevitable betrayals, let's wrap this up and get out of here. That is it for us here tonight, my friends. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, of course, please consider pushing all the buttons. Like, subscribe, share, whatever else there is. If you're watching this live in the Twitch, you can just simply type !Discord and get the link to our Discord server. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can look in the description below for that link. It'll be underneath the massively long disclaimer about how we might make jokes about things, but we actually mean serious things. Because I had to put that in there because there was some really close to home mental trauma stuff going on here. So at any rate, that is it for us tonight. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're out of here. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.